Hello, thanks for being in a new video. This time we have first impressions of HUAWEI Mate 80 Pro and Pro Max. Let's get started. These devices belong to Huawei's high-end line. The Mate 80 Pro model is confirmed for Mexico, while the Pro Max remains China exclusive. Let's take a first look at their design, which, as you'll see, is quite original. Ring that Huawei has named the Dual Space Ring. It's offered in black, green and gold. However, the Pro Max model comes in an exclusive shade known as Polar Silver, which reflects light with quiet and intense brilliance. Both models have a back cover that the manufacturer promises to be 5 times more resistant to impacts, and also come with second generation Kunlun glass on the front, which is 20 times more resistant to falls than the first generation, so they will definitely be quite tough models. We will also find 39% stronger aluminum against deformation, and both models come with IP69 and IP68. The Pro model weighs 219 grams and is 7.95 millimeters thick, making it a solid choice for a flagship. On the other hand, the Pro Max model increases in both thickness and weight, reaching 8.25 millimeters and weighing 239 grams. Indeed, the Pro Max feels noticeably larger in the hand, which is something to take into account when deciding. Regarding the display, they integrate practically the same with a difference in size, as the Pro model has 6.75 inches, while the Pro Max model goes up to 6.9 inches. In both of these cases, we observe a resolution that surpasses Full HD, utilizing LTPO OLED technology. Huawei refers to both screens as extrude display due to their color treatment. They offer a refresh rate ranging from 1 to 120 Hz. However, pay close attention to the Pro Max model, which boasts the brightest screen in the industry, reaching an impressive 8000 nits, a feature that is simply remarkable. It is brutal, and this feature will clearly activate exclusively when you are outdoors, as it detects when you are under direct sunlight. However, it is truly spectacular to have a screen this bright on a mobile device. The front camera on both devices is 13 megapixels with an aperture of f2 and autofocus, plus a 3D face detection system for extra security. It looks good, offering nice width and quality. The main differences between the two models are on the back. The Mate 80 Pro features a 40 megapixel ultra wide-angle camera, also with an aperture of f2, then the 50 megapixel main camera with variable aperture from f1.4 to f4. I want to remind you that this variable aperture is indeed physical, not a virtual one, so it looks amazing. You can even see for yourself how the diaphragm opens and closes when you switch to Pro mode. This camera is equipped with optical stabilization, and both this camera and the ultra wide-angle camera feature RGB sensors. Lastly, there is the 48 megapixel telephoto macro camera, which has an f2.1 aperture, and includes optical stabilization along with additional sensors to enhance color accuracy. By the way, this telephoto camera has a focal length of 92.5 millimeters, that's about 3.8x optical zoom, which the manufacturer will end up as 4x. Then when looking at some of the tests we did, obviously it's an indoor environment, a very casual test, but it more or less gives you an idea. And it's clear that with this optical zoom that's not that widespread, we're not going to have such an advanced, very long distance zoom. You will rely on AI, but the Pro Max model will improve in a less advanced way. Important, it features the same ultra-wide angle and main camera with variable aperture. However, what's intriguing is that we have two telephoto cameras, both with 50 megapixels. However, in this instance, we will encounter 4 times X and 6.2 times X, such as approximate optical zoom capabilities along with. Considering the high-resolution sensor of the ultra telephoto camera, it would give us optical quality up to 12.4x. So in this section, we are going to explore and identify a longer range. When it comes to the sharpness of long-distance photography, it extends up to 100x digital zoom. However, it seems to heavily rely on artificial intelligence, which plays a crucial role in how effectively it can interpret the context to enhance the details. Now, in terms of video recording, we discovered that it supports 4K at 60 frames per second using both the front camera and either of the rear cameras. I personally think this is quite impressive, even though here, we still have not found 4K to 120 or even 4K to 30. These are capacities that we do find available in other flagship devices. In this case, due to processor limitations. As for the battery, the capacities are 5750 and 5200 mAh for the Mate 80 Pro as well as the Mate 80 Pro Max respectively. When it comes to charging, both devices support 100 watts supercharge and also offer 80 watts wireless charging capabilities. It's important to mention that the operating system globally will be MUI 15, which honestly feels somewhat outdated and old. In fact, Take a look at how the Mate 80 Pro Max with Harmony OS 6 appears much fresher and more modern. Personally, I would love to see this operating system available globally. But anyway, Huawei continues to place its bets on me. Globally, it seems to me that it is something that already needs to change, because although it is the 15 version, it's practically the same as the 12 version. Regarding the processor, the Mate 80 Pro comes equipped with the Kirin 9030. It remains somewhat mysterious as they neither reveal nor display it openly. Meanwhile, the Pro Max model is fitted with the Kirin 9030 Pro. In both models, we observe a notably advanced heat dissipation system. Huawei claims it operates with a dual phase change, making it the first in the world with such a mechanism, which can lower the chip's temperature by up to 2.5 degrees. Although these processors aren't the most advanced, the cooling system is exceptionally sophisticated. It probably could achieve high performance, but due to US restrictions, Huawei still cannot claim a performance equal to other high-end flagship devices. Nevertheless, it offers more than sufficient performance for the vast majority of users and individuals. That's all for now about these Huawei devices. I think they're good and attractive, but I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. We've reached the end of this video. If you liked it, let me know, and see you next time.